Hello, Augies Worldwide. I'm Dave Kassler, amateur radio call sign KE0OG, here with another episode of Ask Dave. Today we're going to talk about a lacrosse wall clock that I picked up when I visited DX Engineering. I looked around in there and there was one thing I had to have, and it was that clock. The clock, as it turns out, is controlled by signal from WWVB. It's at 60 kilohertz, and it transmits a time signal. And it's the thing that keeps millions, and I do mean millions, of wristwatches, wall clocks, desk clocks, and things like that accurately on time. And in fact, it'll automatically adjust for daylight savings time. And it is, and I've tested this against the GPS clock that I have here. This little clock right here has a connection right up there, an antenna for GPS. And this gives, of course, extremely accurate time. And this one, and up on the wall over there, you see the wall clock. And that wall clock is within a second of this over here. So that's very good. I just want to tell you a little bit about that. This is the wall clock that you see, and this you saw in the video I did for DX Engineering. It was up on the wall. I just had to have it. So let's take a little look at the thing here. It says atomic time. It sets itself, and it has this little symbol to indicate that it's listening to WWV. It also automatically updates for daylight savings time. If we look at the thing here, we can select a time zone for Pacific Mountain, Central, or Eastern. Note that it does not have a UTC setting. So it's a little hard to use as a station clock for UTC because it won't do UTC. Let's see what we got here. So this is the main product. They have also a so-called extended battery life option. You know that in many clocks you can put in an AA battery and it'll run it for a year. Well, this allows you to put in 3 AA batteries and it will run for 3 years. So some of the features, it sets itself. You can set it manually, but normally you would set this thing automatically, and it worked that way for me. The first thing it does when you plug it in is it does a complete sweep of 12 hours to make sure that nothing interferes with it, it all works right. And then it starts listening for WWVB on 60 kilohertz. And in my case, within seconds, it heard that, and then it set itself just by winding itself until the correct time and sets there. There is an on-off option for daylight savings time. So like, for example, if you live in Arizona or other places that do not observe daylight savings time, you've got an on-off option on the back, but otherwise it will automatically set itself. 4 time zones. These are the American time zones. Does not include Hawaii, does not include Alaska, okay, and does not include UTC. It's black plastic. Everything's plastic. It says glass lens. I wouldn't drop it, but boy, that glass seemed like really thin glass to me. Okay. Now, lacrosse technology, they do weather stuff. They do all kinds of things like that. And here these things are called atomic clocks. There's nothing atomic in them, like a cesium clock or something like that. These are made to listen to the WWVB signal on 60 kilohertz, which is driven by the National Bureau of Standards Boulder, Colorado cesium clock, which is the nation's civilian clock. Now, GPS time is actually the nation's military time, but the military time and the civilian time are kept within extremely small differences from each other, down in the microsecond or less than that. So if you get time from GPS, you get time from the National Bureau of Standards, which owns WWV. It's the same type of thing. They synchronize to this at NIST, broadcast continually from Fort Collins, Colorado. And you can learn more about time by going to NIST. And when I say learn more about time, I've been to this site. You can learn everything there is that is known about keeping time, because they're the nation's timekeeper, and they have some outstanding books in their time and frequency division at NIST that can tell you all about time. So it's 14 inches in diameter, so it is pretty big, okay? But it's easy to put on your wall. Okay, so this comes from Lacrosse Technology at www.lacrossetechnology.com/support. You can get 1 year warranty support for this thing. It just works like any other wall clock. And let's see, if you need the product code in order to find it, like on Amazon, this is the model number WT3143A, and of course it's manufactured in China for lacrosse. Everything is manufactured in China these days. Now on the back there are some things that are screwed in. This is just a photograph of the clock here, screwed in from the back. So be careful taking the paper apart. All right. Now, this is a little movie that shows how it sets its hands. And we'll just look at it here. We're looking at the clock. This is what the clock is doing to test itself to make sure that it actually works. It runs this thing all the way around, and everything is geared very closely to run together. The second hand does not start moving until it finds the time that it needs, and then it starts moving in concert with the WWV signal. So this is the clock as it stands there. It's $55.95. You may find it less expensively on Amazon, but it works very, very well. And you can get it right from DX Engineering. And of course, they keep these in stock and they'll ship that out very quickly. So there you have it. A little bit of a detail about a wall clock that you can buy for your shack that will keep local time to within a second, and it just sits there and runs properly, and it even resets itself when the daylight savings time begins and ends, or you can set it not to do that if you live like in southern Arizona where they don't go to daylight savings time. So please be sure to check out dcasler.com/support for different ways that you can help fund this channel so that we can make more of these videos. And also please check out dcasler.com/giveaway so that you can enter for the next giveaway. We give away one item a month, and it's given away in the first of the Thursday evening live streams that we have every week. The first one of the month is when we give it away. So until we next meet, 73.